What's going on, everybody? On my X, back at you one more time. Episode not one more time. There's gonna be plenty more
Yeah, I don't know what
times.
that was.
Should we start this? No, let's forget it. Let's just keep going. On my X number 31. Today's gonna be a special episode. I am, of course, joined by the usual suspects. Starting with Wes Price. That's why I started with you. But starting with Wes Price, Captain Clutch. How we doing, man? You have a good week so far, and it's
Man,
yeah,
it's
go
been a
ahead.
long week.
Didn't he just ask us to not ask him how his week has been going, Faisal?
Well,
Yeah, I guess we're live now. I've answered this question 3 times, and I've answered it all 3 times. Honestly, I'm pretty stressed out, and not really work-related, just a whole ton of different things in life, just keeping me busy, trying to find time to manage everything, stay happy during this pandemic still. I think it's definitely taking a toll. But I'm here. I'm alive. I'm healthy, and I'm able to work out, so... And I got a good dog. She's asleep back there somewhere, so things are all right. I'm making it.
There you go, man. Good to hear. Good to hear. And of course, also joined by, pointing to his 2 cats right there, joined by Justin Joseph Hunter JJX. How we doing?
We're doing good, man. The cats are macking back there. Look at them go at it. They're enjoying each other's company. No, it's been a good week. Busy week, but good. We just got done with a little gaming session. We took some L's tonight, boys. So I don't know. There's some reworking of the squad.
I'm telling you, we ran into an amped up Rob the Turtle, right? He was tweeted out. HCS put out a poll. Rob the Turtle made the cut. He's tweeting about how it made his day. He's fired up. All right, so he was out for blood tonight, and you caught us slipping. But Rob, next time around,
I told y'all what the problem was. Next time, if I get sniped, we'll be just
apparently the problem was that God forbid, I picked up the sniper and everything just went downhill.
It wasn't God forbid. We tried changing some things up. We tried maybe implementing some new strategies, seeing if play styles would fit other places on the map. Obviously, we got to go back to the drawing board, go back to what we know works, and that's when Dad has snipe.
I mean, we were all kind of hoping for that magic, that goofy on pit magic that we've all seen, and
we did not get that.
Anyways,
I haven't played in a long time.
Anyways, Faisal's been out of the little circuit of the tournaments for 2 weeks now. We can cut him some slack, Wes. But I'm doing good, Faisal. Thank you for asking. How about you, bro? Let us know. How's your week been? How are your fantasy teams? What's the latest?
Well, before we move on from the gaming session, just FYI, okay, both games I had, not the stats matter, but I was top of the leaderboards. So just think of it that way, okay? Even after everything that's been said, I was top of the leaderboards in those games. But moving on to the summary of my week before Wes gets a chance to roast me.
It's hard to have good stats when I'm getting spawn killed on arrows.
Yeah, it's tough sometimes on arrows. But no, man, Justin, Wes, it was so far, it's been a good week, busy week still with just work and personal stuff. And this is a first time we are doing an episode. Well, is it? I guess we did a one-off one time with Tashi as well, where it was kind of not in the usual order. But as you guys know, our episodes come out every Monday. We've been consistent with that. But this one in particular, with there's some schedule readjustments, so we're dealing with that. But ultimately obviously excited to be here. And we have a very special guest for you guys today. A recent champion in the H5 Pro Series and someone who is looking to reclaim that throne. Of course, it is Mikey, a.k.a. SoulSnipe from Team Kansas City Pioneers. What's going on, Mikey? How you doing?
Doing pretty good, bro. Thanks for asking.
Yeah, bro. Thank you for coming on the show. I just want to start off with a very standard question. Obviously, we have the Halo 5 Pro Series Championships right around the corner, so I can't help but ask the standard question: how you feeling going into this tournament, my man? How you think your team has a good shot? Do you have an idea of how the brackets might play out? Where's your head at with everything right now?
Well, after winning the first season 3 5K, we're obviously really confident now. We know we can win these, and then we just had a rough week last week, so we kind of sometimes it's this sounds dumb, but it's not terrible to have a bad week, especially when the 10K is the championship. So we'd rather get our shit out of the way in the 5K and then come back in the 10K swinging. So yeah, so we literally had a rough week, mad at each other about how we played. like all that kind of stuff. Yeah, we looked at the pools, not like it's just pool play, but
Mhm.
we looked at the pools and we see that we had like Flyers, which we always have in our pools, and then we have Spartans team and Sentinels.
That's
So like
the pool of death for sure.
yeah,
That
that's
one's
the
the pool
harder
of
pool of
death.
the two for sure. So like obviously like whoever wins between me and Sentinels, or us and Sentinels, like let's just say that like we win out, us two, we'll play like the loser of Cloud9 and Inconceivable, and like that's how it's been like obviously for all the 10Ks,
Yep.
and
Yep.
like there's like preferred matchups that like we have and Sentinels has, and like I'm sure like Cloud9 and Inconceivable have. Like I'm sure they'd want to play us over Sentinels, or we'd want to play like Inconceivable over C9. But
Mhm.
we don't really like. It's not like that important, like all the top 4 teams can all beat each other anyways. So
For
like
sure.
honestly, we're not really focused on that, and we're just kind of gonna like grind the next few days. Like I have a new controller. I'm not using this as an excuse, but like the Series X controller sucks compared to the other controller, in my opinion. And
Which one are
like
you running right now? Which controller do you have right now?
the Series X controller.
Oh, and you're
Yeah, I'm
not
not a
feeling you
huge
don't like
fan.
it?
Yeah, I don't. It's like smaller, right?
It's like
I've never
small.
used
It's a
that
little
personally.
smaller. It's a little heavier, and the triggers are weird in my opinion.
The triggers are
But
weird. You can't even charge a railgun. Like I'm
yeah,
literally trying to
Oh,
charge the railgun
no.
and I
yeah,
can't
you
charge
can't
it.
because it's like shallow. The triggers are more shallow. So like on Halo 3, you just would randomly not be shooting. I had to get on it.
Yeah,
I hate it.
literally.
Yeah,
I thought I was the only
yeah,
one, but I ended up talking to
yeah.
Frosty about it too, and he's like, "Yeah, you just gotta get used to it." So the
Mm.
next like 2 days and tonight, I'm just gonna like grind just random
Get
stuff
used
just
to
to get
that
used
thing,
to it.
man.
Yeah,
Yeah, there's nothing worse than having like controller issues or discomfort, whether it's a new controller or whatever, right before a big tournament.
yeah,
That's so
exactly.
I can feel your pain, but yeah, man, that's just to kind of reiterate to answer your whole to answer your statement there. I think you guys definitely are a team to look out for this weekend. Obviously, being one of the top 4 teams, I am interested to see how you guys are going to rebuttal. Like you said, you guys didn't have the best week last time around, but you guys have obviously high hopes for yourself, and the community has high expectations. So we're excited to see how that plays out.
So let's dive a little bit further into this. Last week, you guys having a bad week, and then what you guys did last week was 2 different things. Having a bad week's like you lose probably to like Sentinels and Cloud9 or whatnot. Like you guys are a top 4 team. You lost to some teams, especially on Sunday, that you shouldn't have lost to, or had no business losing to, in my opinion. What's going to change other than like the controller issue between you guys? Like how are you guys going to get back to grade A form? Other than kind of trying to reset your mentality, because that can be very difficult after having kind of the performance that you guys had, like especially after you kind of were the underdogs in a lot of series. You came in like needing to win, and now that you have a win, you want to win, but it's a different conversation when you need it.
Yeah.
It's very difficult to win. Like I only won 1 time, so like I'm not even gonna pretend like I was able to win multiple times. But like I was gonna get my win, but I never was able to find myself in a second one. So like, what are you gonna do in order to get that second one?
So I'm just gonna say this now. The controller is not why we lost. That was just me being annoying, but like literally
Yeah.
the controller is not at all. Like honestly, I was still shooting fine and stuff. I just got to get used to it because I know I can play better. But yeah, Sunday was interesting. Some of these EA tournaments, like we've won 9 of them, I
Yeah,
think.
I've been
Yeah,
there for about
and
9 of them.
yeah, and some of them, like we literally would just get like top 12. Like it's weird. Like sometimes we'll just literally lose to like teams that we shouldn't be losing to. And I don't know if it's the BO3s. I don't know like what it is, but for some reason, like this is the thing with our team. Like our team strictly revolves around passion. If we come into a tournament like extremely like hype, like for the 5K that we won, or let me start up. Like in the beginning, like the season 1 of the Pro Series or season 2, like sometimes we'll get on and pool play and we'll be like trolling for some reason against someone like the teams that we should be winning, and like people think, oh, that's fine, like just tee up for when it matters, but it gets you in the mentality where you can like you're not in like the winning mentality. So in the 5K, like Talik, for example, he got on and he was like strictly business, and like he's like our team leader, you can say. So like he was strictly business. Then like me and Manny, like when we like goof off a lot, sometimes we were like, oh shit, like it's strictly business, and then like we just took every single match serious, every single play serious, like no time for jokes, and that's like kind of what we did. So and that's what we did when we lost like pretty badly on Sunday and Saturday. Well, we just like I don't know. Like one of the players on our team he kind of was just like in a weird mood all weekend. I don't like he was just kind of like not giving it his all. Like Manny, he wasn't really giving it his all. I felt like, and I'm gonna throw him under the bus. He's one of my best friends. And like,
Hey, call him out. If someone's slacking and not giving
yeah,
the right amount of effort or something that you know that they're capable of, I have no
Exactly.
Especially
problem
if it's your
calling them
boy,
out.
where you know
He's
it's
literally
like,
like my best
You
friend.
gotta hold
Yeah.
your teammates accountable, and
Yeah,
you gotta
yeah,
expect your teammates to hold you accountable. That's how teams work.
Yeah, and like even talking to Brad this morning, Frosty, like he was like, Manny, you gotta like stop trolling. Like he even said it, because when we play eights together, like he'll even notice it. So like sometimes he'll kind of just like slack off, but when he's like taking it serious and playing his best, like he dropped 32 against Sentinels game 4.
Yeah.
no,
And
he's
then the
nasty
He
when
was
he's
cold
yeah,
when y'all won.
yeah.
Yeah, and he won us the game against the Royal too. And like the next game he dropped 20. Like he's literally so good. He has so much talent. But like that last weekend he was just like moaning his call outs. That was a weird word, I'm sorry.
It's
Like,
no. I feel it.
Yeah, so like we went through VOD review because after we went through a lot of VOD, watching it from like Louis V Titans POV. Hunter recorded it on Streamlabs, so we went through our comms. We went through theater. I went through theater by myself, see what I was doing wrong. We went through it as a team, like, and we realized like our comms were horrible on Saturday, and we like choked. Like we just didn't close out the game. Like if you guys watched that Eden Oddball, like that was embarrassing.
I thought it was
Like,
over.
yeah,
Yeah.
I thought it was over too. Like we should have just like we knew what we did wrong. We should have just like rotated away to the tower side of the map. But for some reason we like fought blue and then we died and everything just and like after that, like we usually can regain, but like I literally was just like raging and it was just a really rough week. Like it was a really bad
Yeah.
weekend and like we're not making any of those mistakes again. Like we
I'm
learned from the
telling you.
10K when we got reverse swept. And we came in the 5K the next season, the next one, and we won. It's like we are capable of learning from our mistakes, I
I'm
think.
telling you right now that it is so like people always say it's harder to win twice, like twice in a row and whatnot. Like your mentality kind of shifts after you win, like because you know you belong there. Like that underdog feeling needs to be something that you can maintain. That hunger for a win, the need for it, less than the want for it. I think that's what separates a lot of like Sentinels' success. Is like those guys have such good mindsets when it comes to like needing to win, and needing to set up a precedent at all times. And they don't like goof around. They don't mess around when they play. I've seen it happen throughout all of like my time in Halo, where people win and then they fall off because they get lackadaisical. They think that they're the best in the world, when in reality, like you still got a lot of work to do if you want to become someone like Snakebite, someone like Lethal. And obviously, those are long ways down the road, but one step at a time, and making sure that you're always in the right mindset is something that like you should expect from yourself and your teammates. And having that conversation with them is probably pretty important.
Yeah.
I think one of the things that you guys have working for you too is you guys got a lot of youth on your team, right? You guys are a younger team. You got a lot ahead of you in the scene, and so it's like building up those good habits, building up that mentality from now is just going to help continue to sustain you guys throughout the scene as you guys get older and as we transition from game to game and whatnot. But man, we're super pumped. Thank you so much for Mikey. I know I hit you up today. I was like, hey, you want to jump on my X? And you were like, yeah, I'm down. So thank you so much, first of all, for me for just being down to jump in last minute. We're gonna keep things rolling. I'm the fun guy here. You know, Faisal and Wes come in.
No one calls you the fun guy.
They come in with all their hard Halo questions, you know, and I'm just here to have a good time. So my question that I ask every single person that comes on my X, and I'm actually kind of scared to even ask you this question, but what's your most like outrageous or memorable, maybe funny behind the scenes LAN story that first comes to your head?
He instantly smirks. He could think of a few.
Dude, you guys know Case?
Of course.
Yeah, come on.
Yeah,
Case is-
yeah.
Yeah, so
cool guy.
man. Case like brought me into the scene, and like me and Case were like brothers and like drunk, and like we're just like horrible people at events. So I don't even know where to like. Oh man. Maybe 2018 Atlanta, after we got top 6, we got pretty like crossfaded, I guess, and like we were just like completely just like screaming at the top of our lungs in like the bar, just like doing weird stuff. Like Case was diving into pools. I dove into some pools. I don't even know what was going on, man. So I guess that was one thing. Man, every event there's something stupid that we did, to be honest. Let's see. Nola, I probably shouldn't say that. No, I actually shouldn't say that.
Yeah. We don't want to get anybody in trouble.
Yeah,
but
and then so like I was like younger in my first few events, so nothing really crazy. Then I was getting older, like Dude, it's hard to think back, to be honest. It's been like 30 years since the last event.
Do you still keep up with Case? I know you said like at tournaments y'all were like, always hanging out, but I saw him post a video today. Kind of, he was explaining how he got into his boxing and all this. He does is boxing, right?
Yeah. I
I
saw
don't
that
know if it
post
was
too.
like a specific kind of, but yeah, I saw that video, and so I see he's doing big things still. So do you keep up with Case, or when was the last time y'all kind of?
Like he'll randomly like join the Discord in like the morning sometimes because we do stocks and stuff, and me and Druck will be there. Or he'll randomly like send a DM in our little like group chat we have of like me, him, and Druck and Manny. So every now and then,
Nice.
like it's like a brother.
No, yeah, and
brotherhood
the
kind of
reason I
thing.
ask is because I remember now that you bring it up, I do remember you and Case and your whole squad always kind of being riled up and all this stuff at
Yeah.
tournaments. So now I'm interested to ask. I was interested to ask about Case because it reminded me and refreshed my memory at these tournaments. Y'all were always definitely into something. That much
I can't
remember.
remember half the stuff, as you can imagine. Why I can't remember half the stuff. It was
Y'all
just
gotta be smart, especially when you're coming up. And I'm not trying to be dad here, but stay out of jail at least till Sunday night, right?
100%.
Yeah.
I had a teammate go to jail during a tournament. You do not want to be that teammate, and you do not want to be that team.
That's true. Especially now, like, I mean, the stakes are so much higher. Y'all know what you're playing for. You know, Infinite.
Yeah.
There's gonna be $1 million tournaments and stuff. So you guys obviously,
this is business.
Yeah, y'all are on the come up. You guys are on the big come up now, So like Wes said, save it for Sunday for Sunday night. Go ahead, Rizzo.
If I'm your teammate, I don't care if you go to jail Monday. I'll get you out.
Yeah.
We usually wait till we're like out of the tournament before we start
for sure.
that.
I wanted to ask you. So you mentioned kind of your team is good at making improvements after tournaments. So just for people watching and for anyone listening to this podcast, what works for you and your team to improve after a disappointing loss in a tournament? And what do y'all focus on the most when you're trying to improve? Is it gameplay? Is it watching footage? Is it talking to each other? Is it just practicing more? What do you think is the most successful formula there?
I mean, I think the first step is learning the game for people watching. Like, you got to learn the game, but us four have played so much Halo 5 that we like learn the game. We know what to do in certain situations. So what we do to try to improve is you got to be able to take criticism. That's the first part. Like, you definitely got to be able to take criticism, and us four can all take criticism from each other, especially. And then like obviously like John, like Renegade, Frosty, like these like the best Halo players, like we're friends with them. So sometimes they like playing with them teaches us a lot too. So it's like baby steps kind of. And then like literally criticism I think is the biggest part. Like whenever like John would tell me what I would do wrong in those EA tournaments, like I would listen and I would like learn and I would go like try to like not make the same mistakes, So that's kind of what I think. Like you just got to be able to take criticism, learn the game, and just keep a good mentality along the way.
What do you say to the people out there? There's a couple of them on the show that don't think you guys are going to perform at the same caliber when a different Halo comes out, because you just spoke on having so much time in Halo 5 and having so much opportunity to kind of learn how to master Halo 5 and all the situations. Don't be pointing the face because you do the same thing. Everybody knows. I personally think you guys will be able to carry it over, especially if you have this mature mentality where you guys can all take criticism, learn from each other, and receive feedback and kind of grow and learn on a game-to-game basis. That's important to your success. But like, kind of what's y'all's mindset when you hear these things? Like, you got to be ready for Infinite, right?
This is a topic that I definitely don't mind talking about because I've heard it 1,000 times. You guys are only Halo 5 kids. You guys won't be good in Infinite. Like I've heard it from pro players. Heard it for some of y'all. Nah, I'm trolling. But literally,
he knows, I'm sure.
Yeah. So literally, like the thing is, this is our first like competitive game. This is the way I look at it, and this is what my message to other people that think this. This is our first competitive game. Like if you look at a player like Frosty, and I'm not saying I'm anywhere near, you know what I'm saying, but like he ended H2A placing top 8, and then he went into Halo 5, and he is the best player to play the game. Like we ended Halo 5, me and Druck getting top 6, and Tolik got top 8. So like we know like this is our first Halo. H2A was Brad's first competitive Halo. Like you can't like. There's only so many players that like come in their first Halo, like Renegade or Shawty, and just dominate. Like this was our first Halo. Like we were learning so much. I was like 17 when like Frosty and them were like just dominating, and I was getting top 16 or top 20. Like I was just learning. Like I was just learning. Like I didn't like know how competing was for video games. Like I just came off sports. Like it was just a completely different field. And like, you know what I'm saying? Like I didn't have a name until like 27 like the end of 2017. Like I was like, like, you know what I'm saying? So like it takes a while to like realize what you're doing. And then once you realize like we realize that we can like win or we can do good. So that's what we're saying. Like we have each other, we have names now. Like we can like play with other pro players off the start of Infinite, which is
Mhm.
huge. Like
Mhm.
that's immediately like the best practice. Like what was I doing in the start of Halo 5? In class in high school. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like it's just
Right.
it's different now. And like once you get paid to play a game, like you could put more time into it.
For
And like
sure.
we get paid to play now, so it's like different. Like we can like put our all into it. So that's the way we look at it.
Well, looking forward to it.
I love that answer, honestly. And I'm one of the guys that I'm rooting for you guys. I want to see you guys obviously have success. It's going to be crazy when all the players are all back together. All the guys that are still playing MCC, all the Halo 5s, like when the whole scene's back together on Infinite grinding, it's going to be crazy. But I mean, you guys are getting in extremely high levels of practice now, extremely high level of reps, against the best of the best, and learning as much as you can. So, I'm really, really, excited to see kind of what happens come Infinite. You kind of mentioned earlier a little bit about how you guys are a team that's like, you guys are driven by passion, right? And my question, I guess, would be, what steps are you guys like? Are you guys planning in the future to take steps to try to avoid having like these super high highs and these low lows? Like, how do you sustain passion at that level, especially when we have, like, we're talking about lands coming up, we're talking about lots of matches. Like, how is that sustainable to you guys?
We're just gonna have to just keep playing together, I guess, and keep learning situations with each other, so we don't have to keep relying on passion. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
So that's
Just make it
yeah,
a habit, right? Make
make
it
it
a
a
habit
habit.
just to
Yeah.
always be great. That's what
Yep.
you guys got to be striving for, in my opinion. Because like you said, y'all are definitely, when you hit the ground, you hit the ground running. Finally, so when y'all found your mix, and I think a lot of it was, and this is kind of segueing into my next question, because you brought it up earlier in one of your answers, which was playing with Renegade, playing with John, and kind of really retaining and building off of that information that you were able to kind of digest when you were teammates with him. What do you think were some of the most, like, the biggest benefits playing with someone like Renegade at that stage in y'all's career? And I feel like, in my opinion, that's really when y'all got that confidence, and kind of even after he left, you guys were like, all right, we're going to beat you now. Like, you're not playing with us. So you're I know y'all are friends and everything, but at the end of the day, when
Yeah.
you're out there playing against him, like, you're trying to beat him. You know what I'm saying? So what all did you learn from that experience, if anything? And how did that kind of play into y'all's growth as players?
Yeah. So 2018, Orlando and Atlanta, I played John. Splice and champ bracket for top 4 and for whatever. And both times, like, they just slaughtered us. Like I was like,
Mhm.
I can't even like believe it. Like it's like literally just like completely different. Like they probably weren't even like calling out, to be honest. Like in Orlando, like it was that bad in Orlando. And then Atlanta was a little more of a fight. Like game 2 was close or something. So like I always thought like John was the best, but I was like kind of friends with him. Then I built a friendship with him more and more the past 2-3 years. And then like playing with him, like you said, and around the esports arenas and all these money twos and everything, like there's a lot you can learn about like a player, like not only like how they play, but like how they keep composure, their comms. I learned a lot of that from John. Like more more so of like how to just like he just if you ever I'm sure you guys all talk to John, he just thinks he knows he's the best. Like he just has that dominant mentality, like he's the best.
He
So
does
like
not
that's
lack
kind of what I
confidence.
learned. Yeah, he does not lack confidence, and that's a huge thing I learned from John. Like just don't lack confidence. Like whenever we would like play, he'd be like, "Bro, these kids suck." Just like and like we're playing as Bound saying like I'm like, "All right,"
Yeah.
and these kids suck, and then like I would play just like that. He's playing just like filled with passion, and then it wasn't long before I realized like, oh, I'm in the same level as these guys, and yeah.
Mhm. All right.
I love to hear the humility, though, like just the way you refer to them, the fact that you guys, have chosen to learn from the guys who have been there, done that. Like that's huge, right? To be humble enough to say, hey, like these guys have been places I haven't, so what can I learn and what can I grab from them? And I think that that's obviously been a huge thing for you guys in stepping up your game over a pretty relatively short period of time, to be able to come into Halo 5 and then be winning, some of these 5Ks now. Wes, did you have a question for him? I didn't want to cut you off.
No.
Oh, okay, cool.
Not off the top of my head.
Cool. I wanted to do a little fun something with obviously the Halo 5 championship coming up this weekend on Saturday. For those of you guys that don't know, obviously that's going to be broadcast on the Halo channel. On my X crew right here is going to be casting it, bringing you guys the action.
Along with
Shyway, Alex, our boy.
If he shows up.
Oh my gosh, he's like our honorary 4th member of On My X. But I wanted to do some fun stuff. So I wanted to do really quick some Halo 5 predictions.
You're big on this fun guy thing.
With I'm a fun guy now.
You just
right?
embracing the fun guy role.
Whatever. So I know that chat wants to get their questions in as well, for SoulSnipe and stuff. But first, I wanted to go around the horn. We'll start with Faisal on your predictions for this weekend. We'll obviously we know who the top 4 is. Like, let's if you want to say someone else in the top 4, go ahead. But who we're picking to win it, and obviously Mikey, you're gonna pick yourself, but pick yourself and let us know why as well. But we'll start with Faisal. Go ahead, Faisal. Who you got going in this weekend for the championship?
I got to go with Sentinels, but I fully have the window is cracked for someone to take them down. But after their performance, in the last tournament, and just knowing their track record speaks for itself. It's not really anyone can pick Sentinels, and this, you can call it the safe pick, you can call it whatever. And I know obviously we have one of their leading opposition on the show, so I'm sure he's got other plans. But they have the track record. They're motivated. They want to win. You see Snakebite, he hopped on to that team with to start playing with, even in Halo 3. I think they're realizing now, and they're getting more into their groove with everything, and wanting to make sure they're winning anything Halo related. And once that's on their mind, and once that's their mindset, they tend to accomplish that. So I find it hard to bet against them, but that, like I mentioned at the top of my answer, that window is cracked, and players like SoulSnipe, teams like KCP, players like Renegade, teams like Cloud9, they're going to be gunning for them. And I'm excited to be on the show. Thank you to be in this position, to be able to cast these tournaments and bring you guys some awesome Halo experiences here. So, just looking forward to it.
Wes?
Mikey broke down the bracket and how it's going to play out, right? So, seeing how the bracket plays out, I think it's a Sentinels Cloud9 finals. And that's no offense, but from what I saw from you guys in the past 7 days, Mikey, like, you guys got to fix some stuff. Yeah. I have no doubt that you can fix that, but I'm not going to predict you to fix it until I watch it first person. You guys are a top 4 team. You'll get in the top 4. That's sad. That's not something I'm worried about. But I'm going to put those 2 at the top. Give me Cloud9. I want Cloud9 to win one of these things. So I'm going to take them.
They need to, man.
I want them to, so I'm going to predict it. Penguin just had surgery, so hopefully that
he did.
Is like,
his wisdom teeth.
Yeah. So
get well soon, Penguin.
Yeah,
hope you're feeling better.
Hopefully Zane's doing well. Hopefully those guys are fired up. I see Eco streaming like regularly now, so so I know he's been playing because I can watch him play nowadays. Yeah, I want to pick Cloud9. I hope I'm right, but I think Inconceivable is the 4th team. 3rd and 4th doesn't really matter to me. I think Inconceivable. I actually do have a question after we wrap this up, because I want to ask about Inconceivable to you and what it's like playing those guys.
Yeah.
Okay. Got you.
Yeah, I was gonna ask just in general, because like you brought up earlier that you would rather play Inconceivable than Cloud9. Like, what's going on with the Inconceivable squad? Like, it felt like contenders for a while, and now they're kind of slumped. Like, do you have a vibe check on what's going on over there, Mikey, or what?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, do you ever watch Saiyan stream when he loses?
He's not a good loser.
He's not a good loser. And, like, that team has the weirdest mix of players ever. Like, really, it's a weird mix of players. Like, I don't know if you can have, like, I don't know. Like, Saiyan just kind of complains to them when they lose. Falcon doesn't really say anything or care. Bound is just Bound. And, yeah, it's just, like, it's definitely a weird mix of players. Like, they kind of need to, like, do like more OBJ, I can say. Like, their vibes don't seem the same as they used to be in the beginning of the Pro Series. Sounds like they maybe don't care as much, but like they do at the same time. But like, I don't know. I feel like their vibes are definitely off after just like losing a few. and yeah, maybe they just kind of don't really like. They just play to play now. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's so strange too, because they were like so good at reach and 3, and you knew they were going to be good at H2A. You
They
knew
even
were going to
won
be
some
good
of
at
the Halo 5
5.
ones. They won 1 or 2 of them as well.
Yeah.
So.
It's just like I feel like I hadn't seen them in a finals in 6
Yeah, a
months
few
now.
of them. Yeah, a few of them. I think the past like 4 or 5. I think. I don't know.
It's been a
Something
while.
like that. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm kind of, for me, my prediction, I'm looking at Cloud9 as well, Wes. I think, a couple freak plays go the other way, and they could have potentially won last weekend. They were playing really well. The whole excuse though now of like people not playing Halo or whatever is like kind of out the window. Everyone we can see is playing, grinding, Sentinels. Cloud9. These guys are all playing, streaming, scrimming. So in my opinion, I think it's gonna be the most competitive, Pro Series championship we've had yet. So that gets me really excited. But yeah, I'm looking at Cloud9. I'm looking to see if they can finally get one, because like they're the last top 4 team that hasn't. But Mikey, when you're going into this tournament, you chatted about, who you want to play, this and that. Go ahead and give us your rundown. What you think is going to happen in this tournament? If there are any dark horses in the pools, like what's your kind of view of things?
I think the best team outside of the top 4 is Flyers, and I know everyone always constantly says that, but they still are the best team because of Septify. He's literally the best. So literally, like, if like they can break it out of top 4, I don't know if they'll do it this time. So I'm gonna say it's the same top 4. I'm gonna say no offense to Inconceivable, but whatever team plays Inconceivable out of us or Sentinels will beat them and go to the finals. And then I feel like Cloud9, I'm just gonna like not include my team. Out of the other 3 teams, I feel like Cloud9 is gonna be the best team because Kevin and B have been grinding.
They're good.
Yeah, and like John's pissed that they haven't won. Like he always will come in Discord and like complain. So he's like pissed that they haven't won one yet. So I think John's gonna go absolutely like Renegade mode, and Kevin and B will also like pull up and like Penguin to do his thing too. So I think like they're gonna be tough. And yeah, that's what I think. I think Cloud9 will be tough.
It's gonna be a good tournament. It's gonna be a good tournament. We're excited. We're pumped about it. So I think we should do a couple chat questions. What do you guys think? Les, Faisal, Mike, you guys up for that?
I mean, I'm definitely in for that. I see Bound is in the chat. He says, yeah. So we got some people already.
Oh, Bound's in the chat.
Yeah, Bound.
He said, "We'll see."
He said, "Just what I needed to hear from you, SoulSniper."
All right, Katie, Divine Dams, are you asking that to Mikey or the rest of the? Yeah, you should probably asking it to you. So like, who's your favorite teammate, Mikey?
Yeah.
My favorite teammate
of all time. Your favorite Halo teammate of all time.
Of all time, Druk, because he's like my best friend.
The homie.
Yeah.
Druk gets it. Druk gets it over.
Literally, all 3 of my teammates I love to death right now, though. So that's hard to like pick like currently favorite teammate.
All right, Druk, favorite teammate. Good answer. Now we got Bound with the question saying, "Why are you so scared of Renegade JW?"
I'm not. he's my friend and he's good. Like I'm not scared of him. I literally beat him in the 10K. Like stop being annoying.
Ooh.
The game.
So annoying, there you have it, Bound.
The game is 49-49 Slayer. You're the guy.
Oh, you talk about Renegade all the time, bro.
All right, here's a good one for you, Mikey. The game is 49-49 Slayer. You run around a corner and you end up in a pure 1v1. Who do you not want to see there in that 1v1?
Ooh, good one.
Frosty.
I guess Frosty or Royal.
You were gonna say Renegade, but you're being called out right now for liking Renegade, so.
No. I would probably say Frosty or Royal 2.
Yeah.
Royal 2 when he's cracked.
Dude, he doesn't miss a bullet.
Yeah,
when he's cracked,
yeah,
man.
I think, yeah. Let me back down. I'm backing down from that one-on-one. I'm not putting a one-on-one against Royal 2 on my team's hands to win the game.
What about you?
We'll figure it out with some teamwork.
You see him in the 5K? He hit like the craziest.
Dude,
like, he doesn't miss. He's
out of his mind.
Dude, he's been doing it since he was in diapers, as he said. Yeah, he's
Yeah.
literally been doing this since like when Halo 3 was big back in the day. Even though
he came out the womb clicking heads.
I would have watched back then. I know he's literally a god.
He hasn't fallen off that at all. It doesn't make any sense.
He
doesn't even play the game right now.
My sales pitch to Snakebite when we picked Royal, when I was trying to convince the 2 to team, my sales pitch was PJ. I have sat next to some of the greatest players in the history of Halo. This kid is unreal. Like the things that I saw this guy do at a tournament were unbelievable, and that was back when his career was like just getting started.
Yeah.
Faisal, what about you, man? Like, who's someone you want to run into in a 1v1 for the last kill of the game throughout like your history of competing and whatnot?
You could say me, even though I'm here.
That would be like a treat. It'd be like Christmas.
The best part about it is
I run into Wes. I'm like,
the best part about it is Faisal found himself up 12 kills in a game 6 against me, and it didn't matter. So.
And then Royal 2 happened. All right, so on to the no, I'm playing. Justin, what was your question?
That same question, like 49-49, like for you throughout your whole Halo career history, who do you not want to run into in that fight? Doesn't matter the game.
Honestly, Shotzi.
Oh, I forgot about Shawty.
It's gotta be Ant.
Yeah, I would have picked Shawty.
I'm vibing Shotzi standing up and celebrating.
Dude,
with
oh my gosh,
bro, that kid he's different, man.
He's cold.
Straight up. Shotzi, shout out to you, salute to you, because you genuinely, in my opinion, changed like any game you go to, you change the game. And that's a skill set that is few and far between. So that he has to be that answer for me.
Yeah.
Anybody else got any questions in the chat? Onward, thank you for the kind words, man. We appreciate that. What is a wave check? Mikey, can you explain this? This has been throughout the chat.
He's got to take his cap off and check the hair.
Who asked that?
Who hasn't asked that is a better question. But
we've seen tons of wave checks.
You don't know what a wave check is?
No, I don't know what a wave check is. What is that?
I have a do-rag on, and it's because I'm trying to like build waves because I have really short hair.
Okay.
So it's like wave check is like show your waves, but I'm not showing them.
Okay.
So,
Okay. Yeah.
He's got the waves under there.
Mike, dude, do you always game in the dark, Mikey? That's like an actual question for me.
I always see your light off.
Yeah, is that bad? 'Cause I do.
I'm just curious. Like I
never gamed in the dark. I don't know.
Yeah, me either. I never ever game in the dark.
Reference, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, I do game in the dark. People tell me it's bad for your eyes, but like I don't feel anything, so I continue to game in the dark.
I don't feel anything now.
I feel like more correct when I'm in the dark. I don't know.
I feel that sometimes if like I feel like I get locked in more when all the lights are off and you have your monitor on. But it definitely is supposed to be bad for your eyes.
I got a question. So after I ended up making it as a pro, I kind of looked back and realized that my gamertag was clutch, and like it was too generic and too common. You can't search for it on YouTube or anything. You'll never find any gameplay or whatever. SoulSnipe being your gamertag obviously is where I'm going with this. Do you like the idea of like going famous as SoulSnipe still, now that you've kind of established yourself as that? Or like have you ever thought about like going with something more like or less generic in a sense? Because I feel like SoulSnipe's almost like a more common name towards the clutch. Like obviously you're not that generic, but it's like in that direction rather than like a Goofy or a snake bite or whoever it might be.
Yeah, my gamertag is definitely a 3 out of 10, but I mean, I don't know. I feel like it'd be hard to change it because
Unlegit did it to Eco.
Dude, you need to drop the snipe and just go
be
with Soul.
That's what my YouTube channel is.
That'd be hard.
I like that a lot.
I was thinking about doing that.
Dude, Soul would be hard, bro.
We had Penguin try to switch and he didn't like it.
Multiple times, dude. Dead zone or whatever. Sub-Zero.
My teammates told me not to do that. They said Soul is ugly.
What?
Manny said that. So
Manny's like 10 years old, dude. Like we gotta. No, that's a great question there, Wes. Yeah, I think we're Bound's trolling. He said after losing to Eli Elite, what are you gonna do to prepare for the 10K?
Bound is just straight up trolling.
Just tell Bound to 3-0.
Shit, and I was like,
is Bound? My question for you, Mikey, is Bound ever gonna show up to an event?
Yeah.
You think he will? You think he will?
Infinite, man. This kid's about to.
I think once he's signed, he's gonna have to.
There's gonna be an order that flies somebody to his place to walk into the airport in order to get him on the plane and fly back to wherever they're going. So.
Bound
will go.
Yeah, no, but
Soul stuff, man.
Yeah, we can wrap up with a little bit of so we went over the Halo 5 stuff for the weekend. There was also a Penn Halo 2v2 tournament. I don't know if you guys tuned into any of that on Saturday. Obviously, we saw Nikoski and Bob the Demigod win that one. They got first. Lethal and Gilkey got second, and then Straight Sick and myself got third. Wes, Faisal, did you guys watch that at all? The 2v2 that went down? Or you and Mikey?
I watched like off and on series, but it was like the one day I wasn't really working last week, so I kind of like went to the gym, did whatever. But I saw enough of it to understand what was going down. I saw you get worked by Gilk and TJ, which is a series that I wanted to pay attention to.
It was a 3-1.
That's a work.
I checked it out too, Justin. I was tuning in and out of a lot of the series, but man, Shelly and Bob were surprised. They were dark horses. I didn't see them coming out of that tournament on top, but think about it. It's a 2v2, and whoever's on fire is on fire. So shout out to
so good.
Yeah, he's nasty for sure. Shout out to Nico, and shout out to them for winning that 2v2. That was cool to see.
Yo, I have 2 questions for y'all.
Go ahead.
What's up?
One, who's the best Halo 3 player right now? And
Lethal.
It'd be between Lethal and Gilk, I think.
I think so too.
In my opinion,
I would say those two.
Are you guys allowed? I don't know. I think this would be a good idea. You guys should like watch the 10K and like have your live reactions on it. Are you guys allowed to do that? Or do you guys Wait.
We're casting it.
We're casting it.
Oh, yeah. The 3 of us. Yeah, we're gonna be casting it.
That's a great idea.
Like where you guys hang out and watch it and stuff. But I forgot that you guys cast it. Okay, never mind.
Yeah, we'll be there gassing you guys up. But we're probably gonna do I haven't asked you guys this yet, but I think it would probably be best for us to do the show right after. On my X to like recap it or whatever would probably be I don't know, because with the Saturday we'll figure it out.
Saturday night or Sunday night.
Yeah,
definitely gassed, right?
Dude, we're gonna be
we'll probably have to push it to Sunday night.
And it's fight night too. Like there's gonna be some good UFC fights on Saturday. So I don't know, it's been crazy.
Those productions, when it's like a full on the Halo channel, the productions are obviously they're really much more in depth. So I'm sure we'll be tired after that. But yeah, man, Mikey, again, thank you so much for coming on the show. Good luck to you and the squad on Saturday.
Thanks,
I'm rooting for y'all. I was one of the people like Wes was alluding to earlier that
he's a hater.
I'm not shit out of here. I'm not a hater.
We all know who the biggest KCP fan is in the crew.
You're just a home. No, get out of here.
I mean, go back and watch the film. We got them all recorded. They're on YouTube.
Listen, my point is, but yeah, thank you, Mikey, for coming on the show, and good luck, man. Good luck.
Let him shout out his stuff, bro. Like, so go ahead and give a shout out to where we can find you, where you're streaming, what your Twitter is, but also any people you want to give shout outs to. The floor is yours, man. Take your time. Go ahead.
My stuff is just SoulSnipe _ Twitter and Twitch, and then I don't know what to give a shout out to. Probably just my teammates. Let's win the 10K, and yeah, let's just keep going till infinite and just show up when it matters.
Love that. Thank you so much for coming on, being a part of it. Do you guys do any of the Halo 5 crew even watch the MCC stuff, or do you guys just kind of like stick to the Halo 5?
I don't think I'll like whenever it's like the finals, I'll like put it on and just like have it there. I think it's pretty entertaining. Like you guys get hype, so I like watching it.
For sure.
True that. I
don't really know what's going on, but
well, Wes, why don't you go ahead and do the honors and
like I said, man, thank you for joining us. It's good to get some FaceTime with you. This is probably our first conversation as you've been a pro player. Hope to have many more opportunities to do that, especially Infinite coming. I know you guys have your eyes set on being successful there. Getting the right mindset. I'm telling you, there's a different mindset after you win that you have to shift to in order to continue to get up there. So I'm looking forward to seeing if you guys are actually capable of that, man. I'm rooting for it because I love underdogs. I love new blood. And I love the fact that some of these old heads are starting to get upset with it. Once again, thank you for joining. We're going to end On My X episode. I don't even know anymore.
31, baby.
31.
Thank you. And with that, we're going to call it a night. Thank you guys for all watching the live stream. If you did, you can find all of Mikey's content and whatnot down below in the chat. We're out of here.
All right.